Today I want to talk about exposing the truth behind get-rich-quick schemes because I see a ton of people falling into them as a trap, and a lot of people are unfortunately very naive today and they see things that are very incentivizing and they fall for them very quickly. So we're going to begin by covering dropshipping because this channel is all about dropshipping. As with every single industry, there's always bad actors within them, and dropshipping is obviously no different. This is definitely one of those business models where it can seem extremely attractive because a lot of people out there who haven't even tried dropshipping are marketing it as very easy money and a very low investment to get into. But the reality of dropshipping is that it's actually a very saturated market and it takes real business skills to actually compete in. And you also have razor thin margins when actually making money in dropshipping because you're looking at like 30% profit as an average. Now you'll see a lot of videos, and many of us YouTubers have been guilty for using these titles, in some circumstances even me, but you'll see titles like make $10,000 in 3 days, for an example, which I've never actually called a video of that because that's just extreme, but that's just an example. Or make 10k in 30 days, which is extremely unlikely. And with this, you also get overpriced courses with minimal value. Now, my course is completely free and you can get it linked right down below if you want a free dropshipping course. That's 4 hours and it doesn't cost a penny. I believe in free online education, but I also believe in paid education, and I don't think there's anything wrong with selling courses. In fact, I would probably do it in the future, but right now I'm all about giving free value. But with a course, when you have a high price label to it, you need to offer equal value to that price. And I see a lot of real quick hash together courses, especially in the dropshipping space, which are very expensive but don't really offer any value in return. And a lot of these people are using very unsustainable business models, and dropshipping itself can also be quite unsustainable if you don't have the knowledge. You need to be able to analyze trustworthy sources versus false promises and bad actors. Now, one thing that really bothers me about dropshipping is people kind of market it as, oh, let's just ride a trend and we're just going to sell one product really quickly and run some ads on it and we're going to make a ton of money. People think you can just sell a product and make a store, but it's actually all about branding, okay? Dropshipping is a business model. You don't just list a product and get $1 million in sales. You need to create an authentic brand with really good images, a great user experience, a good customer support experience, and a company that people actually value and trust. And that's something that a lot of people forget with dropshipping, and it can be very easy for these fake gurus to incentivize people to actually fall into this business model with a promise of fake riches. Dropshipping definitely works, especially TikTok dropshipping is huge, but you need to do it the right way and you need to learn who to take the right information from, who have actually been through the trenches and actually tried it out. I'm not a dropshipping millionaire, but I've made a few thousand off dropshipping, and I can tell you that it takes some real time, effort, and dedication to make work, but with a lot of trial and error, you can see some success in this business model 100%. Next up in the circles of hell of get-rich-quick schemes, we have pyramid schemes. So the promise of pyramid schemes is exponential sums of income from recruiting others. So you may have heard terms like MLM, which is multi-level marketing, or a pyramid scheme, which is basically the same thing, right? You have the one actor on top who's getting all the money from all the people under. It's kind of like a glorified affiliate program, but much worse because you have affiliates and then affiliates of affiliates. So it's a very controversial business tactic, which isn't always illegal, but this is one of the definite big bad actors in the whole world of get rich quick, right? So with these promises of exponential income and the ability to gain this from recruiting others, you then have the reality of pyramid schemes, which is a very unsustainable business model, which in most circumstances is actually highly illegal in certain territories, and you mostly lose most of the money, right? Let me give one example of a so-called pyramid scheme or MLM. And I'm going to preface this by saying this is alleged because I don't know legally if I can describe this business as an MLM, but Google tells me that it is, so you're going to have to slate Google for that. But the company Herbalife, people refer to it or think of it allegedly as an MLM or pyramid scheme. Basically, this company sells nutrition and weight management products. And then you also have Amway, which is another business that allegedly is a pyramid scheme, and they sell household and personal care products. And then you also have LuLaRoe, which sells clothing and accessories, and also Avon, which was really popular in the UK, and these are all alleged pyramid schemes. And basically this works where someone will advertise a product for the company like an affiliate, but they'll sell the idea of the company and making money from selling the company's products to their friends and more friends and family members in the hopes that those friends and family members will then make them more money. And it kind of just goes from the top down and just creates this huge support structure like a pyramid shape until you just get like thousands and millions of affiliates and referrals, where the only the income is actually coming from the affiliates mostly rather than real organic customers. You really need to learn how to spot red flags with these pyramid schemes, and you also need to realize the difference between an affiliate scheme, which is legitimate. Affiliate marketing is a very good business tactic. For example, Hustlers University is an affiliate program, not a pyramid scheme. You need to realize the difference between these two, because an MLM or a pyramid scheme is definitely more insidious than a simple moral affiliate program. Then we also have courses. Now, you guys might have a positive view of courses, and you might also have a negative view of courses. And it's really dependent on A, your mindset, and B, how you view education, and actually the theme and idea of spending money on education. So do you think courses are worth buying? Do you actually value knowledge? Do you think knowledge is powerful and it's worth the price that you pay for it? It's really dependent on your kind of base value system. A lot of online courses are very good, and I totally believe in most of them, but there are also those bad ones, especially in the get rich quick scheme kind of theme and niche, where they promise a secret formula for wealth. It's an untapped idea that you've never heard of before, and it's going to make you quick riches in days or weeks, for an example. But the reality is most of these courses are using outdated or generic information set at a very high price. So what you pay for is usually information that you can just get free online, and it's dated information at best, which you can see on like websites like Reddit or forums if you look hard enough. A course can be positive because a course is basically data like text or video kind of put in a pretty packaged collection all in one place, so you don't have to go find the research and information from multiple sources and piece them together yourself. And this can be very attractive and also very useful, especially if you're getting it from someone who's reputable with experience. It is one of the best things to buy, and it has the highest ROI, the return on investment. If you have a really good course and you learn a marketable skill from it, you can make money basically forever in your own future. So they can be a good investment. But there's a lot of fake so-called millionaires where they're not actually millionaires from the business they're promoting, but they're millionaires from selling the course of the business they allegedly made money in. So this is also a big problem. And then you have courses where they're just rehashing free information, and they use high pressure sale tactics to sell a lot of these courses, and they kind of play on your emotions, which I guess is very good marketing skills, but you need to be able to identify these things. You need to first vet the course and the instructor and think about, is this person actually genuine? Is there a past record? Now, there's a lot of influencers online where people say that they're fake gurus. For an example, Iman Gadji. But if you look back on his channel, you can see his whole business journey from like a 7 to 8 year period where he's actually doing as he says, and he's actually doing as he preaches. So you have real-time data to show he knows what he's talking about, and he's not a fake guru. Now, most people who sell these courses don't have that kind of data or history, so you can't actually vet them to see if they're legitimate. You've just got to take it at face value, and most of the time, if they have a lot of subscribers, you'll just believe them, right? I've seen a lot of people with very little subscribers give out better products than a lot of big YouTubers and big influencers or marketers, so it's really hard to suss out what's real and what's not. And there's a lot of charlatans in this industry, especially in the finance and money space, because there's a lot of money flowing through this industry. And then we have scam marketing. So this one is usually kind of the easiest to identify because most people know when a deal is so good or too good to be true, as they say. And the promise of scam marketing tactics is guaranteed returns, no work needed. It kind of reminds me of the whole YouTube space where the so-called passive income lie. Now, whenever I make these passive income videos, which is quite rare nowadays, you know, the typical style where people just have their hands behind the neck and they're just laying back in the chair, sleeping in the thumbnail. A lot of us have done thumbnails like that, but in these videos, I always begin them and preface them by saying, look, passive income's a lie. You need to put work and effort in. It's possible to work like 4 or 5 hours a week and make a lot of money, but you just feel lazy doing it and you just start to feel depressed. It's all about working, right? Passive income is first of all a lie because if you don't maintain something, you just start losing money and the business fails. So passive income's an idea that's a lie just from the get-go, or at least the meaning that people believe it means. Passive income as a word actually has a different meaning. It reminds me of that, right? So the reality though of scam marketing tactics, which is similar to that, is that they have fake testimonials. So these people who have actually so-called bought this product haven't actually bought it, and there's no real product. It's just kind of like a scam that they're fronting. Let's just give some examples of these. For an example, we have mainly cryptocurrency scams, which are mostly Ponzi schemes. All these altcoin scams are basically, they use insider trading where all the creators or the team, they know when to pump and dump it. So when all the investors come in, then they sell at the highest price, they exit, then the coin crashes, because everyone else loses the money and the creators run off with a bag. That's kind of like the scam marketing in the crypto world, where you have pump and dump schemes, which also happens in stocks as well. And you have a lot of scams in the stocks world. Like if you watch the penny stocks movie, Wolf of Wall Street, you can learn a little bit more about that kind of stuff. There's also a lot of other examples in terms of products in this space. So miracle health products is another thing, especially with supplements. People buy just bogus supplements, which are definitely not going to do anything. It's kind of like snake oil back in the Wild West, where people promise that this like miracle serum is going to like give you superhuman powers. They just don't work, guys, for the most part. You need to research before you invest in any kind of product or service, especially with crypto. You're going to lose a ton of money, and just don't invest in altcoins in general. The kind of tactic that a lot of these fake scam marketers use is they rent luxury cars so they look more richer than they are. I'm not a millionaire right now, but I could go out and rent like a Lamborghini for like a few days or something and then just put it in a video, and people will probably actually trust me more than me actually giving you good quality information right now, which is honestly a sad truth. But for the most part, anyone who is making a bit of money can rent one of these cars, and that's what these scam marketers do. And some of them even rent houses, which is not really a bad thing, because a lot of rich people, they do actually rent most of their possessions. So inherently, it doesn't mean you're not rich if you rent a fast car or rent your house. In fact, renting a real estate property is actually a good thing, and most of the time it's better than buying, right? But I'm just trying to say that a lot of these assets are rented, and they're not always actually as wealthy as you think. So that's kind of the reality of it, and a lot of them have fabricated success stories. Now, this really bothers me, especially in a lot of finance and money spaces on YouTube. In the dropshipping space, which this channel is mainly focused on, we have some really good success stories, and these people are all legit. For an example, Jordan Welsh in dropshipping, that guy has made a ton of money and he came from nothing. That guy's story is incredible. Then we also have Bia Hezza, who has clearly made quite a lot of money, especially because he doesn't really even do YouTube anymore, so it's clear that he is making money and has made money in the past. And you need to look for these small clues to see if people are legit. But when we get to the negative side of people, especially in the dropshipping space, I'm not going to name any names, but there's a lot of fake channels that don't know what they're talking about, and they're using outrageous clickbait titles rather than just offering free information. So you need to be able to identify these people, right? Check their credibility, try and check past history, maybe do a Google search or audit to see if they have real success stories and they're speaking based on the things they've done. So this was kind of like a rant video to try and help a lot of you guys out there who are either young or who are just generally naive and take things at face value, which is a lot of people, because most of us are kind of overly trusting to most people, and there's a lot of people who are bad actors who lie in life. But the conclusion to this is, first of all, there's no shortcuts to success. With this YouTube channel, it's just ever growing, right? But with my main YouTube channel with over 100,000 subscribers, it took me over 3 years of solid work just to get to that point. So there's no shortcuts to success whatever. Hard work, dedication, and patience is crucial, especially with any kind of business. And this is the same when you're starting an e-com business. This is the same when you're starting a service-based business or an agency. Everything takes time, and you're not going to get rich quick in a week. You're not going to see progress in a few days. Most of the time, it's going to actually take a few years, maybe 1 to 2 years, to see good payoff from solid work constantly, okay? So consistency is important. The takeaway from this is just stay informed and try and avoid scams where best. Try and kind of look behind the curtain, because nobody's moderating these scams. You need to have some common sense, and you need to be cautious and research before investing in anything. Now, don't just trust your favorite influencers at face value. Yeah, again, I'm not going to name any names, but there's a lot of influencers who unfortunately promote really bad products or investments to their community just so they can make some quick sponsorship money, like especially with these crypto scams where they promote some fake coin and then they just exit or disappear, and the community is the one who's left to pick up the pieces with all of their money that they've lost. So just don't trust people, even if they're your favorite YouTuber. Do your own research first. It's really important. And trust your instincts, because if you get a gut feeling in life that something's bad, it usually is, okay? And for the most part, listen to that, because in my experience, when I didn't listen to a gut feeling, it usually turned out for the worst. So always trust your instincts and gut feelings, and always do your due diligence before you actually trust these different scams and people and business models. And seek advice from reputable sources, because there are a lot out there, okay? Try and look for people who have not really got anything to gain from giving you information. That can be quite hard, for an example, but try and look for people who either have nothing to gain, who are maybe offering you things for free, or at least a good portion of their stuff for free, or they just have so much past history and examples of their success that it's just irrefutable that they're actually honest. Alex Hormozi says this best on YouTube. One great thing that he says is he just tried to put as many points on the board as possible so people actually trusted in him. So he was saying that like he was just focused on doing everything, getting those stats to his name, getting that money in his bank, and getting that legacy built around him so people could actually look at the real hard evidence and the facts to realize, okay, this guy's doing well, this guy knows what he's talking about. Sometimes it takes action rather than words to actually get people to trust you. So always look at people's actions actions and things of what they've done rather than just what they say. This was kind of like a little bit of a different video, but I saw a lot of people trusting the wrong people, trusting the wrong kind of marketing tactics, and kind of unsure what businesses to get into. And for the most part, this puts off a lot of people from starting a business or trying to make money online, because there's such a high percentage of people who are just lying or just misleading you. So it's always important to always be able to distinguish who's actually legit and who's not. So if this video was valuable, make sure to smash the like button, comment any questions or thoughts about this topic that you have, and subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you have any experience with like any get rich quick schemes? Have you ever been scammed online, and are there any lessons that you learned from that experience? I want to know about that. And also share this video to spread awareness. Maybe you have a friend who just believes everything, or who has bought into some kind of scam or cult. Share this video to them. Hopefully it'll bring them a little bit of clarity. And stay tuned very soon, every single week, for more business and finance insights, as well as videos on travel. And I'll see you real soon.